Okay. Last week I came in your room and I videotaped you for 20 minutes. We just got done watching that video. Now, in order for you to get a clear picture of your skills and reality, we're going to go through this checklist and you're going to rate, okay? So, in the video, do you want to explain what your lesson was for that day?
Sure. It was an ecology lesson over pretty much in the unit for finding Nemo. And we used that to connect symbiosis in the activity and also food chains. Throughout the thing, the kids were viewing, yet they still had to interact. So what I personally saw was a lot of kids actually had goals. Kind of neat for a kid to see that. And with those goals, some of the kids finished the lesson like in one day. They were just motivated to get it done for the grade. And some kids kind of just sat there. And on the second day, they needed quite a bit of prompting to get it done. And after that, I left it, talked about it a little bit, and I'm still hearing in my class, shark bait, hoo-ha-ha. So at least we got that, a little bit of a community.
Okay, so what percent of your students do you think were engaged?
Okay, engaged with the movie, 100%. Engaged with the activity that they were supposed to be learning, that's tougher to say. Looking at the results of the activity, it's several that just left the bottom portion of the blank. And that could be on me in a bit, because we should have refocused and readjusted. But I really didn't see the activity happen as well as it could.
Okay. Were the students able to interact with each other? What would you say?
I would say no, not at all, because our focus was on the activity. So mostly the interaction was with, what they were viewing, and then the interaction was with me. Interaction with each other was actually frowned upon, frankly, because they were watching a movie.
Okay. What about yourself when you were watching yourself in the lesson? Do you think that you clearly explained the expectations prior to the activity?
That's where I could use some improvement. I think I really should have focused on saying that this is what we're doing. And to achieve a grade or a successful grade on this, you really need to narrow down, focus on what you're doing, and the activity is the most important part of it. Instead of just watching the movie, having a good time, eating popcorn or whatever. So I saw that, and I will agree, just from viewing myself from the lesson and viewing at least what you saw in the classroom too, that the educational aspect for some of the kids wasn't totally there. And I probably should have done a better job of refocusing at that point.
But I did notice you had your learning target and standard posted, which is plus. Good job there.
Bartow County policy.
Okay. Now, I'm going to ask you a few more questions. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the worst lesson you've taught and 10 being the best, how do you think you would rank that lesson?
Well, in terms of student memory, what they will remember from at least my class, they'll probably remember that lesson pretty well. So, if I was a kid, they would probably rate that lesson as a 10. But in terms of what they were held accountable for, probably closer to a 5.
Okay. So I agree. I feel like you had some strong points. I feel like they did enjoy it because it was an engaging, fun movie that they all loved. So, what specifically were you pleased about the lesson?
Um, in terms of developing community within the classroom, you know, in the learning interpersonal circle, they call it collegiality. But just in terms of the students engaging with each other to the point that we're able to watch it, because that was one of the overarching reaches that I did, was to make sure the behaviors were there, that we could actually complete the activity. We got that from a student in the room to worst student in the room. We got that. Now for the actual lesson in itself, I could do some improvement in that area, especially in the follow-up.
Okay, so what do you think that would look like if you were to repeat the lesson next year? How could you improve it to where it would be closer to a 10? Like, what would the students be doing differently?
I think, personally, I would have to spread the lesson over 3 days and then make the accountability for the lesson a bit more to what the activity itself was intended for. And the accountability was supposed to go all the way back to symbiosis and supposed to go all the way back to just kingdoms of life.
Okay.
And I don't really think I enforced that enough. The lesson was there. It was a good lesson. I paid for it. It's a good lesson. So, teachers that come up. And I really should have, focused more on what was there, and instead of trying to rush through it in 2 days, just looking back on it, it would have been better to, just do it over 3 days. Don't put the rush on getting done, just so, more or less the students are engaged and quiet, but you should focus really on the third day of just reinforcing what it was all about.
Okay, so I think you did a great job reflecting on your strengths and weaknesses. So I would really like for you, since you've just got done reflecting, what are 2 goals? Let's shoot for 2 goals that you want to accomplish. And so what do you think you want to see? What goals would you like to see?
Okay, the first thing I would like to do is incorporate more technology in the classroom.
Okay.
Now, for that one, it would help if it's computer aided, because we have computers in the classroom for 100% of the students. Should I say almost 100% of the students? Let's go about 95% of the students. So for them to interact, it'd be better instead of doing a paper assignment. It'd be better for them to interact with something that's just more electronic. It could be a PDF document or something like that, where I can just plug it in, look at it, and then probably ease the grading burden along the way.
Okay.
And then my second goal would be to increase student collaboration, where I could see it at a point where, just jump up the process a little bit. It could be during that video where we'll just stop and talk about this issue. And, just have the kids interact more. And at least for that instance, just to make the lesson more engaging for everybody. And my goal, just like every teacher's goal should be, is 100% engagement. So not just once in a while, but every day. Just get them engaged. And that would be my goal.
Okay, I think those are 2 excellent goals. So, and I can help you with that. Okay, so you said that you want to have more technology integration amongst the students, as well as more interaction and collaboration amongst the students. And I think a great way to accomplish those goals, since our school is working on becoming STEM certified, is I can help you create a STEM lesson that will incorporate technology as well as keep the students engaged and collaborating together. So what do you think about using STEM project to reach your goals?
Well, we're going to be doing it anyway, so it's
So that would help you. Okay, so overall,